individual from the governor's office, and took a real hard look at some things that are happening across the country. Texas is one of the states that's leading the way, and alternative sentencing, and really addressing some things that I think all of us would agree are very important moving forward. Some of what we've done in the past has compounded the problem in corrections, and there are times we've created criminals with some of the things that we've done through the years. We have met numerous times since that conference. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is now meeting with us as well, and we are just about ready to drop legislation. We have a draft that we're still getting people to sign off on, but we're about to drop legislation to form a commission, and we hope to see that moving through the House over the course of the next few weeks. Our goal is to create a commission to look at criminal justice reform. And the way the draft reads, I'll just go ahead and give you a little bit of an idea of the way the draft reads. That commission will put together some recommendations and bring back to us in 2012. And the way the draft is initially would have a special joint committee of the Senate and the House that would take those recommendations and hopefully get some legislation to the floor for us to look at in 2012. I was very excited when the governor, in his inaugural address, one of his first points was how we've got to change the way we've been dealing with offenders, and specifically he addressed mental health courts and drug courts, and I think that if we can follow along those lines, we'll see some very positive things happening in the state of Georgia in the years to come, and we'll create an environment where the prison population is not outpacing the regular population. We'll create a safer Georgia, and we'll do it more economically. And I'm excited about the opportunity to do that and be a part of that. It is my belief that my involvement in those areas is the reason why the committee ended up selecting me as chairman of this committee. And just wanted you all to know the background on the things that I've been involved in, get a feel for some of the things that we may see moving forward. And I understand there are a lot of other things that we're going to be doing besides just focusing on this issue, and I understand that. I appreciate the fact that I have a seasoned committee. I think that's very important to have a seasoned committee that understands the issues, and I want you all to know that I am open to you, and I'm looking forward to hearing your comments and being a team as we're moving forward. And we've got some great folks that we're going to be working with as well. And I appreciate the opportunity to work with you and to be your chairman. And I think that we're going to have a good session and some good things happening in the off session. And I just anticipate we'll come back next year and have a great session as a result of some of that work. And again, I appreciate your all's efforts through the years and look forward to working with you as we move forward. I have met with Vice Chairman Gerald Green, and 29 years on this committee, and having served as chairman of the committee a couple years. I appreciate your experience, and we'll certainly be working together. And I wanted a couple things. First of all, I want to give you an opportunity to just make any comment that you'd like to make, and then I want to hear about your birthday.
So it is. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, it's great to be back in this committee once again, and you do have a real good committee to work with, Mr. Chairman, and I think you'll enjoy being the leader of this committee that has worked together over the years closer than any committee that I've ever been involved in, and it's just a great committee to be on. And you have many options to see what's going on in the outside world there, and how it affects the people of Georgia. And whatever we do here certainly affects the families of Georgia, and that's so important. And I am so glad that we're moving forward finally on a criminal justice reform. That has been my hope, my dream for many, many years. We've been promised that so long, but now I can see that there is a reality that's approaching there. And I have been on this committee 29 years, and I have enjoyed every moment. And I look forward to working with you, Mr. Chairman, and the members of this committee. And I'm here to serve y'all and work with you in any way that I possibly can. Y'all are a great group to work with, and I'm not going to talk to you about my birthday.
Vice Chair Green said that he would be willing to talk about the birthday away from the microphone. I believe is what he said. But any members of the committee have anything on your mind you'd like to share before? Please.
Mr. Chairman, I look forward to working with you on this committee and so forth. And I know in the past, of course, Gerald, I think, we got on this committee shortly after we had a leader in the state who said that we don't need more prisoners, we need a better class. We don't need more jails, we need a better class of prisoner. I think that's one of the things Lester Maddox said a long time ago, which is true. Of course, society being the way it is today, unfortunately, we're going to have more prisoners before we have fewer prisoners. Unfortunately, you can read that in the paper every day with people who don't have jobs and they can't afford to eat, they can't afford to pay their rent, they can't afford to pay their utilities, and so they're robbing all the little mom and pop stores or breaking into houses. And unfortunately, that's a sign of the times that we got to put up with and find a place to incarcerate these minor crime people, and so forth. In the past, I don't think the department heads have really communicated to the committees on how they are going to utilize some of the properties, be it institution or other types of properties the state might have. And I'd like to see is the possibility for the committee to really look at some point in time at here's all the property the state has. Here's all the institutions the state has. And I look at institutions not just like the prison institution. I think institutions here means all the buildings and so forth, not just the prison buildings. I think that's what institutions mean here. I might be wrong, but I know the Department of Corrections is a big part if you look at it from that aspect. But for us to, I don't know if it's under our purview, to look at all the property that the state has. Why buy more property to put a building somewhere when you got plenty of property the state already owns? Why build another building if the state's got a building that can be modified for less money, and so forth? Does that fall under our purview, or should it? Hopefully, it falls under somebody's purview.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things, as I approached this committee, one of the things that I was focusing on, as I've shared with you, is the criminal justice reform aspect. I've been working with corrections, and obviously this committee goes far beyond just that. And it was interesting to find that the state owns 15,000 buildings and over 1 million acres of property. Some of those are obviously corrections, and others regents, and a lot of different. But if I'm not mistaken, the Department of Corrections has done some pretty significant surveys on feasibilities with properties and things like that, and we'll get more information about that. I think that's something that we definitely need to be looking at, and we'll certainly do that as we move forward.
My county alone has got 8,800 acres. The state owns 8,800 acres of undeveloped, just land sitting out there that can be used. There's another 2,500 acres that the state has under the Behavioral Health Department. But I heard the governor at one point in time where somebody in the governor's office talking about buying another piece of property somewhere to do something with. If my county's got 8,800 unused acres and other counties got unused acres, then I'd hope somebody would make recommendations to whoever's trying to buy something that, hey, let's don't waste the money to buy it. Let's use the property we got. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We are going to have another meeting February the 9th. If legislation comes in that requires us to meet prior to that, we'll do so. But on February the 9th, we're going to have parole and probation come in and talk to us about some of the things that they're doing on the interoperability that they've been working on. So I don't know a time on that yet. I'm assuming it may very well be the same time that we have today, but we'll get an announcement on that out to you. I know that y'all are aware of some of the things that have been going on with pardon and parole and probation. We're going to have them come in and give us an update, let us know how things are going in that aspect. Thank y'all for coming today. I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. And again, my office is open. Please don't hesitate to call me if I can help you. Meeting adjourned.